so sorry. Okay, I'm back. I have no idea what happened. It said my connection was unstable, and that's it. I tried to get back. I couldn't get back. I'm so sorry. I hope someone will find me. But, all right, so we're doing this time. I'm just going to start talking while some of you start to filter back in. But what we're going to be doing today is doing self-portraits. Now, you can do them any style you want. You could do Picasso-esque, where your face is off kilter. You can, hi, Annette. I am so sorry we got cut off, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. And hopefully you got the blocks I sent. I think you already let me know. I'm not sure. But anyway, so we're doing self-portraits. They can be any style. You can do outline drawing. You can do collage quilting, which is what I'm going to do. You could do pixelations. It is amazing. Hi, Marcia. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened, but I had to do it again. I'm so sorry. But what I did today, and I'm going to get ready and show you, is I took a picture of myself that best conveyed what I wanted to let people know about me. And hi, I'm so sorry. Oh, you received them yesterday. That's wonderful. Yes, I have no idea what happened. I pulled the camera to myself, and that's the moment it happened. But there's no button that I pushed. I don't know. But it said that the connection was unstable. I often get that. In fact, this is what I was going to show you. Luckily, it didn't glitch this time. I made myself a new necklace out of polymer clay. And I had seen this necklace, something very similar. I couldn't find the picture of it. But I had seen this necklace on eBay that somebody had. And I thought, I could make that. And so let me just show you. But I'm real tickled with it. It's a little heavy, but I like it. I liked big artistic looking jewelry, and I made a bracelet to go with it. So I wanted to tell you something interesting. If any of you do polymer clay, this is all made of polymer clay. The insides of all of this are made of scrap clay, and then this has got a more turquoisey green and a regular green, and I put gold clay in them, and then I had these little pots of metallics that you smudge on, and I like the look that it gives. And then I found after I bake them, because I stopped doing polymer clay back when you had to take a Dremel and you had to use wet sandpaper, and you had to get really crazy to make them shine. Well, people don't wear shiny jewelry so much anymore. So what I did is after I took them out of the oven, I let them dry on wax paper. I let them cool on wax paper. And I was sitting there holding these beads and looking at that wax paper. I burnished all of them with the wax paper, which gave them just the slightest little shine, just the right amount. So anyway, but I just thought I'd show you. I'm going to wear it again Sunday so I can show the main group. But I like doing this. There is about 12 hours in this. So it's not something you just do tonight to wear tomorrow. Not if you're going to do this much. And I tried using some stamps I had, and they didn't really work. So I used a tool and just did the design myself. But you know what? It is fun to be creative. And now I have a brand new necklace to wear with this kind of color outfit. So let me show you what I did with my photos. because each of these variation will help me in really nailing down my personality and my face. Because it's hard sometimes, really hard. Oh, clay is wonderful. In fact, you can do transformers with clay. They won't be able to move probably, but who knows? Put some wire inside, try to see if you can make joints. But there's so much that you can use with polymer clay. And some of the clays I used, I've had 20 years. Took a little longer to kind of work them. I ended up having to get my pasta maker to really roll them because they've got an oil in them that has to be dispersed back through to make it pliable. And but it worked. So now let's go look at photos. Let's work. Okay, there's so many wonderful ways that we can use our art nowadays. Okay, let me turn a few things around. I apologize if it's making noise. Oh, no, don't do that again. Oh, hold on. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, I'm going to take you to the folder. I told you I keep folders of everything I do, and it becomes my research. So I looked at different photos. I looked at this photo, which I really liked. I really liked my face here, but my mouth is open a little too much, and it shows more excitement than just happiness and compassion, I guess, maybe. But I do want to show you. I took this original photo. This isn't the original, but I took the original and to put it in Adobe. Now, some of you might not have Adobe, but you might have Paint. You might have, well, I don't know what kind of editing program came with your computer or your laptop or your tablet. But they all come with some kind of photo editing. And I'm lucky enough to have Adobe 15 Elements. So what I did here is went into Expert and just fuzzed out the background to try to get just me. Okay, now let me see. Let me go back to another one. All right. This is the one that I ended up going with because my face says what I want it to say. And I like that my hand is in here. I've always liked my hands. So I'm going to put my hand in it too. I haven't done that yet. All right. Now so what I did is I took that photo into Adobe Photoshop. Okay. Photoshop Elements. And I immediately went and found the black and white. And let me tell you why I did that. Here is the photo in color. And as you see, the edges are kind of soft and it's harder. Like, where exactly does my chin end? All of that. But then when you notice in black and white, what you'll see is the lines become a lot more definite. My hairline is easier to see. Because look at my hairline in this. It's kind of, where does my hair begin and my face end? So by putting it in black and white, I'm not distracted by colors. And I can look at how many lines are under my eye. I can look at this crease mark here, because these are all the things that are going to let you know it's really me. It's not just a generic face. That's why I don't ever want to have plastic surgery done to my face, because I would lose things that make me quintessentially me. All right. Then I had some fun. Now, some of these are the other picture. Some of these are the picture I'm actually going to use. Here is where I put this one into a black and white. All right. Then I darkened the picture. See how it's darker now? The other one, oops, and you know what? I'm shining you into that light. Let me turn this a little. I apologize. My ceiling light was showing. I darkened this. By darkening this, I can see the edges better. I can see my features better. And let me show you the difference. Here was the original. See how much brighter that is? And it's just that much harder to see the edges, to see what makes me me. Okay? Then I heighten the contrast, because the brighter the contrast, then the more I can see where are the highlights, where are the shadows. You can notice that there's a lot more shadow here. The light was coming this way. That's important in making this a portrait that you'll recognize. Okay? So I brought up the contrast. Then this one, I brought in some more shadows. Everything to just kind of show me where my face is. I'm trying to think of what this one, okay, let me see. Then, for just fun, I said, I'm going to pixelate it. The benefit of pixelating is also it shows you swaths of color. It shows, look at the shading on this eye. It's not always obvious. Look at this hair here, the eye, that side of the nose, that side of the face. It shows you the shading of the neck. So all of these photos are going to be very helpful to me. Now this one, it's called Poster Edge. And what it does, it does a great job of showing you the hard lines, where all the subtle shading is actually lines, like the wrinkles in my forehead. They're not as obvious in the regular pictures, but they're there. That'll remind me, this is where I'll hit it with thread. I'll do thread painting where it's just a little darker. It shows you just the little hollows in my neck. So all of these things, I just went and looked at everything. This is the one I'm going to use. And I changed the contrast on this so you can see the highlights. So right here, you can see where to put the brighter fabrics, where to put the darker. So these are all my research and just kind of getting to know my face. You would think we knew our faces, but we don't spend that much time. And what we see in the mirror can be different than what a picture might show us. This I made extra sharp. By making it extra sharp, I get a better idea of the line of my mouth, the line of my chin. I mean, it's not pretty. You wouldn't want to use this normally because it makes the hair look grainy, but it really sharpens all the absolute lines of my face. So I know you're probably tired of seeing my face, but it was my best way of showing you all the little things that I did. Okay, so these are all my research. Then I printed out a black and white of this and the color of this one. All right, now while we're here, let me show a few of your photos. But anybody who wants to send me their photos, we would love to see them. Here we have, oops, and I forgot to turn out this light. Here we have B. Hepworth's latest beauty, wonderful landscape. This is her very first landscape quilt. I wish I could have done this well with my very first. She's a very talented woman. All right. And she's switching from hand embroidery to quilting because of having a few eye problems. So this is not really, I think it's half of an art quilt because it has artistic things like the tree, the bird, the dog, and Miss Cheryl Lemon did this. It is beautiful. Love it, love it. Okay, let's see what else we have. I think I was wondering if I left anything out here. I didn't. I think you saw everything. Oh, here was another one of the pictures I almost used, but that is a little bit too shocking. I didn't want myself, I wanted to be more subtle with what I wanted. All right, Diana Wright has finished her art quilt. She did it back when we were working on birds. And not only did she do artwork, but her husband did the welding to make a hanger for this. So I wonder if the people's last name begins with H, because she said that she's shipping this off to Paris, Texas. So that's going to be a very, very lucky person. Now let me bring this back down and see what else we have with Miss Diana. All right, let me show you some finished pieces of, this is when she was working on the individual leaves and coloring, cutting and coloring each little leaf. And they were tiny when she finished with them. Okay, let me see what else. I'll show you these other pictures on Sunday, but I wanted to stay focused on her gorgeous art quilt. And this is absolutely beautiful. I feel like I can almost hear and watch these birds fluttering in the trees. Really, really beautiful. So Diana Wright is so very talented. Oh, nope, got to go back. I want you to see her hand-colored, hand-placed, three-dimensional leaves. Just amazing. Okay. And here is the quilted finish of this. Just beautiful. Look at this. So hold on. We'll show you. Whoops, let me go back one more. We'll show you the rest of this on Sunday. She is a very busy, talented person. Let me see. Oh, look at this. So isn't that amazing? And what I love best is she said she really, really enjoyed it. That is beautiful, Diana. Beautiful. Okay. Now let's see who we can find next. Let me see. You remember Miss Jody's Out of This World quilt? Cute as a button. Just so cute. And I love the number of colors and the way it's layered in this. Just beautiful. Way to go, Miss Jody. I can't wait to see what she does next. Okay. Let me see. Kathleen was working on her planets, but she said she's going to make them smaller, the work smaller. So she's going to be retooling that and then showing it to us again. Okay, what else? Let's see. I think that's it for right now. I know that Miss Cheryl bought a great planet and can't wait to see what she does with this. I kind of overwhelmed these ladies because we were doing our house at home block. All right, let me come back to y'all, and then now I'll get ready to show you what steps I took to do my quilt. All right, so let's see. I love it. I love when people use their time. In fact, have you noticed how much creativity is going on in the world today? It is wonderful. We spend so much time on YouTube just seeing the absolutely amazing things that people are doing. So, parts of this are going to turn out to have been very rewarding for a lot of people. And getting back to basics, getting back to their art, getting back to, instead of just flipping and slipping on an electronic device, they're creating. And how wonderful. And I'm not trying to say anything bad about electronic devices because they enable me to come to you with YouTube. They enable people to make their own movies and skits and plays. So there's just some beautiful stuff out there. All right, now I'm going to bring you down here where I've been working, okay? So here we are. Oops, I probably should turn on this lamp. Y'all told me the other day it was a little dark over here. My camera seems to be having a little problem keeping up with light. I don't know if we need to check a setting or what. All right. I first got a piece of muslin and I just tore it and starched it and said, what size do I want this to be? Then I went over and I decided I wanted my background to be something most likely light, most likely, let me make sure I'm out as far, okay, most likely a batik and something a little watery, although I brought a few other options over just in case. All right, I even thought, well, that's pretty, but the problem with, let me show you. This is actually a beautiful fabric. I really considered that one. This becomes too busy. This was too bright. This was too busy and not quite the right colors. This pattern demands your attention, and that's not what I want to get the attention if I'm going to take the time to make a self-portrait. This was pretty, but too busy, too demanding. So now I'll put these back here. But anyway, these are some of this one, believe it or not, this became too busy. You know, I laid the fabric out and then laid my picture on it. This was a possibility. It's a little bit washed out. This I liked because it is subtle and it changes. It just graduates in color, but it doesn't have a print to draw your attention. This also was a possibility. It's not a batik, but I thought, ooh, that is a possibility. But this is what I decided to settle on. And the reason I settled on this fabric is my eyes are kind of goldish blue. And this has some gold because my hair is blonde. It has some green and blue because of my eyes and another little color. But I just liked the way that this had some interest, but it recedes into the background. That was good. It doesn't overpower. See how when I lay this on it, it gives interest to the back, but doesn't fight with my face. And then I took some 505 adhesive spray and I sprayed it, which they said it would come loose, and it is. So before I quit working on this tonight, I need to go around and baste it so it will stay together. Because the reason I have this muslin, and this is the way I like to work on art quilts, this gives a really good firm base. So when I start doing thread painting, it's not going to draw up. If I can't use a foundation, then I can put fusible interfacing on the back. But in this case, this gives me, and I starched both. I starched the muslin and I starched my background fabric. Then, so now I've decided, okay, this is what I want to use. And I found the photo I want to use and I manipulated it so that I could do the best job putting what I really look like on here. I've decided to go reasonably authentic. I decided not to do something artsy. You know, you could always do a Salvador Dali where your face is slipping off out of the frame. there's all kinds of fun and amusing ways to do this. But what I'm going to do, what I've decided to do, is to put my face here, and then around it, I'm going to put my favorite things. My favorite things are going to be my 3 children, my grandchildren, my gardening, my quilting, my art, all of the things that I love best. And I'm thinking of getting some of the fabric that you can print from your printer, and I can print my favorite photographs and then put little vignettes of my favorite things. And this way, my quilt is going to tell you who I am. So the first thing, I've got my foundation, which is my muslin. Then I've got my background. I even thought of piecing a background. But then I said, okay, if you're going to have all your favorite things on here, don't piece your background. It's already busy enough. Pick your battles. What are you going to do? Because I want to get this done in a couple of weeks. So I took and printed out the size that I wanted my face. Okay. Then, okay. Now, if you wanted, I could have put this top fabric on a light box and tried and outlined all of this and put this fabric on top of the picture on a light box. Oh my gosh, Miss Bonnie is here. Woo! Miss Bonnie is my hero. Hi, sweetheart. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Susan called and told me how you were doing. I was so tickled. I got the message today. So what I did, because I wanted to, light box, I could have done, it would have been a little tricky seeing through this fabric. But I wanted to do a method that I could show you, that I knew all of you could do. So here's my 8.5 by 11 photograph. I folded it in half, took my fingernail and ran it along the fold. Then I folded it this way. I was going every other way, one this way, one this way. Now it's in quarters. Then I took and folded it in half again, and then finally stopped at this size, took my iron, whoops, don't get my iron near that, I'll show you why later, took my iron and ironed this small little package. And the reason I did this, it's a wonderful way to reproduce a drawing that makes it very easy for you. Whoops. It makes it very easy. Then I decided I wanted this to kind of lean on the side here. So I laid it at an angle. Then I took a piece of tailor's chalk and I drew around this photo like this. Okay? That gave me a rectangle. Then what I did is I folded it up halfway, drew a line across. That gave me 2 halves. Then I folded this up, used the edge of this, and with my tailor's chalk, drew another line. What I was doing is using the actual photo as a grid marker. And by keeping it like this, and then just folding things back on these well-defined lines, I was able to do an exact copy of the grid. Very, very simple. Then to do this last one here, fold this up, do it this way. So, you just fold, 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 draw, 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 and you have now transferred this at the right angle to this. Then it's just a matter of, let me pull it closer to you and put this up like this. Then it's just a matter of, what do you see in that grid? Draw what you see in that grid. So in this grid, let me do this so you can see it better, because you can't always see where I folded. All right, here is this grid. Draw what's in this grid onto this grid, okay? Because here, this grid is right here. Whoop, come on, chalk. Here is this grid. It's still hard, a little hard for you to see. Hold on. So what I did is, here is this grid. I just took and I drew what I see in the grid, okay? And so mainly it's just my shoulder and my hair. And here's the hair coming down. And I used the chalk and I drew what was in each grid. Then after I had it in the grid, I thought, okay, I've got it chalked, but I need to be able to see what's really there. And the chalk is a great way to first look at it, but then how do I actually see? Well, oh yeah, good job, Bonnie. Oh, thank you, Sherry. That's very kind of you. I've just learned through life, and I would have loved to have done more art in school, but that was that. Okay, so now I came back over the chalk lines and used a friction pen. Let me tell you why I wanted to use a friction pen. Okay, let's say I've got this line here, and I don't know if you can see it. Let me do something closer to the light. Let's say, I put a line right there. I didn't really want that line right there. I just take the edge of my iron and it's gone. Now, I do know that if you put it in the freezer, okay, the line will come back. But I don't often put my artworks in the freezer. But anyway, so what I did is I came along and I looked at where I had the chalk, and some drawing I did from the chalk. And then some of the drawing I just pulled in nice and close and worked on, like, okay, let me get my smile lines in here, because this is really important. This is what makes me who I am. And I love every crease and line. That's what makes me Deb. So I drew in, and anytime I got it wrong, for a while, I kept, this end of my eye was too high. I kept bringing it up. So I would use the tip of my iron, and I would erase it and then draw it again. And I still don't have my mouth quite right, but I'm going to keep working on it and try to get it. And you have to be very careful when you're drawing your teeth, or else it'll look like you've got a mess for teeth. But now I'm using my friction pen, and if I want to remove it, I just merely press it. And even if you tried using a pencil, you couldn't get it to press away that easily. So anyway, getting my nose was a little tricky, but I just would erase and try again. Often I try to draw the line to correct it and then erase the part I don't like. But now I've got a pretty good, I'll keep tweaking it, but I've got a pretty good replication of my face on here. All right. So I hope that gives you some help. Now, Bonnie, I'm so glad to hear from you. So can't wait to see you settled in. I'm going to show your pictures Sunday that you took on your trip down. So I hear it's quite warm down there. You know, honestly, I didn't realize Illinois was that much cooler than even North Carolina. So you've got to, it'll probably take you a while to get used to what you're doing. So now get used to those temperatures. Mark said when he moved from Michigan to Texas, it took him like 2 years to adapt to the temperature. All right, now let me get my little tray. I love these trays. Remember when I made these out of foam core boards. I love these things. All right. So then what I did earlier is I went over, let me see if I turn this off, will I get better? Will it go ahead and use my overhead? Yes. Okay. Sometimes the light in this camera makes everything else shut down. But I got all different colors. When I do my hair, when I do parts of my face, you have to be able to show, take care, Bonnie. Thank you for checking in, sweetheart. We missed you and you weren't even gone that long. So, but happy times in your new home. So here we go. So here are all the different colors that I'm going to use to do highlighting and shading. And I just went over and picked scraps. A lot of these I just used recently. And you need more different colors than you could imagine, okay? Then I said, okay, I need some flesh tones and highlights and shadows. So, oh, hi, Jen. Oh, Texas is a bear. When I went to see Mark in Texas, I thought, I don't think I can, live in Texas. The sun is so bright. I had no idea. You're that much closer to the equator. But I got a whole bunch of pinks. Then I got a go-to flesh tone. But you can see when I put my hand up against here that I do have a pink undertone. So I went and got all of these different colors. That way, when I start cutting out, I'm going to block areas of my face with these colors. But when I start cutting all this out, I've got a lot to choose from right here. All right, so that's how I'm going to work on this. And I'm going to probably put a little trapunto over my face to kind of make my face kind of come towards. I love doing that. And in fact, before I baste around the edge here, I need to probably, or you know what? No, I'll go ahead and baste and then I'll cut a slit in the muslin when I'm ready to put some batting under there. So here's how I'm starting. I need to tonight put an order in for photo transfer fabric. And I could try to take some good fabric, washed white fabric, and iron it on the shiny side of freezer paper and run it through my printer. But if this turns out good, I think I'd really like to do it the best I can. This will be a keepsake. So here is my face that I did. And I'll keep tweaking it too. I'll keep tweaking it. But I just thought I would show you how I've gotten started. And one of the next things I'll be doing is finding little photos of things that I enjoy. At first I thought, and I may still do some of this, I would like to get some of my favorite flower petals outside, bring them in. And you know how you cover them with a cloth and then you take a hammer and you hammer the flower and it leaves the imprint in a light color on the fabric? I might still do that. But I might just on this work on getting my face the best I can and my hair the best I can, and then do photo transfer of all the things around me that make me who I am. Does that make sense, everybody? Hi, Jody. So, but now this is just my plan. Your plan could be anything. I even thought about doing like a mock-up quilt and doing my face. If you look in this month's art quilt, Quilting Arts magazine, you will see a great article on this woman doing really cute, fun ways, modern quilt style, Let me do something really quick here, guys. Hold on. Whoops. Let me close some of these photos. Oh, here's my Adobe that I did my photos with. Okay. Oops. Okay, let me just bring this back up. I'm going to show you. Okay. I'm on Google. I'm going to type in self-portraits in fabric. Okay. And let me see if I can show you some of the different styles. Here we go. This is something you can do. Oops, sorry. This is something you can do yourself to give yourself ideas. I spent a lot of time on here, and there really are some wonderful. Let me try to hold on a second. This is giving me a little trouble. I want you to be able to see good enough. But you go to Google, you can do self-portraits in fabric. You could do fiber art self-portraits. You could do modern self-portraits. You could type in just about anything. Look at these cool things. Isn't that awesome? And if you look at this, it's very few lines. But if you get them right, look how few pieces of fabric there are in it. But if you get it right, it is amazing. So, let's see what else. But I love what people can do with fabric. Oops, let me try to go back. Hold on. Let's see some more. Look at this. Look at these different fabrics. Look at this over here. It's amazing. But see, self-portraits can be just about anything. They can be just about anything. And so take time. This one here is how I think I'm going to do mine, is just block the face off with different fabrics like that. But this one, she uses, it's beautiful self-portrait, and she uses, this here. She uses K-facet fabric, but it's a beautiful self-portrait. Isn't that amazing? So it's really easy. When you look on here, you find yourself drawn and to something and say, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. Because like this, look at this background fabric. How awesome. Look at this background fabric. So there's just so much that you can do, and you get to decide what you want to do for your self-portrait. But now look at this. Isn't this awesome? All the colors. It's just, and you know what? It's still recognizable. That's what I love about self-portraits in fabric. You can use just all kinds of interesting little things. And like this looks like Deborah Harry that someone has done. Whoops, no. Let me back up. This one. This one looks like Deborah Harry, and they've done very heavy couching of yarns, but you can still tell who it is. Look at this one. This is the woman who did the crocodile that was 27 feet long. Do y'all remember that one? I think it was Crocodilius was the name of it. Look at this portrait. But even though none of the colors are what you would expect in a portrait, it works. It all works. And then here's a pixelated. Right here is the pixelated. And you can tell, if you knew that woman, you would know that's her. So fiber art, fabric art, it could be, look at this, how cute that is. So there is just everything out there. Look at this, the blue, the techniques that she did for that little boy. So the sky's the limit. Here's another pixelated one. The sky is the limit. And find something and say, this is going to be my style of doing my self-portrait. So they don't, look at this. I mean, it makes a point, and it's all amazing. It's all wonderful. So find what you would like to do. It could be a stick drawing. Look, this is recycled junk mail, and you can tell it's Judy Garland. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, all right. I hope I've gotten you excited and interested in trying to do your own version of your self-portrait. And I mean, there's something for everyone. Even if you say, I can't draw, there's all kinds of things out there that you can do it and it will work. So I hope I've given you some good ideas and a good plan to start down the road to your self-portrait. And it's not about who draws the best. It's about representing the heart of you, representing what makes you special, what you have that you offer to the world. Okay? Any other questions? Hi, Sue Smith. Hi. Nope, it's not at all. If you can cut out an egg shape and put yarn to make it your hair color, it is all what makes you happy. So, okay, any questions before we go? And I'm really sorry that we had to start a second time. I don't know what made my channel, what made my live stream unstable, but we'll get it back. So, and here, once again, here's the necklace that I told y'all I was going to make with my polymer clay. And it took about 12 to 15 hours to make all together from start to finish. But I had such a good time. And here's my matching bracelet. So now I've got to make one in pink. So I need a new necklace in pink. Have no idea what kind of design it's going to be, but what fun it is. Keeps you going. Hi, Angela. It's so good to see you. So anyway, any questions you have? Thank you. Yes, and I will see you, Sue Smith. Hopefully everybody got your block. They were lovely, sweetheart. Even her signature was just immaculate. I thought, oh, I like this woman. My signature's all over the place, but hers was beautiful. Sue Smith, and her blocks were beautiful. So I'm thrilled. Thank you to all who have sent out your blocks. And I know that those of you who haven't mailed them out yet, you're working hard on them, and we appreciate that. So I guess that's really about it for tonight. And I hope you'll give a self-portrait a try. I mean, if you just did a drawing like when you were in kindergarten and drew yourself with 2 stick legs and a round body and a round head, I would be thrilled, because there's great ways you can have fun with that. There's lots of ways to have fun. So don't worry. If you have a light tray or light desk, you can actually print out your photo, put the fabric on top of it and put the light table or window behind it, and you can trace. Everybody can trace. All right. Take good care of yourself. Please. No getting sick. Stay safe and careful. And I will come back and see you Sunday and show you some more fun. I've got a Hobbit village to have done by Sunday to show you. That's the nicest thing about doing this channel. It makes me get stuff done. One day I'll show you all the UFOs I have in my closet. Yeah. Take good care, everybody. Take good care. It was so good to see you, June. It was worth the wait, let me tell you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Stay safe, and I'll see you on Sunday. Bye-bye. Yep. Take care, everybody. Thank you.